Do you believe that men and women can be friends?
Yeah, men and women can be friends. You know, there is. Um, it depends a lot about the dynamic. You know, if there is like attraction from one or two sides, then it's not really a friendship. Um, no, that's not true. There can be attraction at times, but um, both parts have to be aware that it's more important to take care of the friendships than to fall for the desire, you know. Because sometimes, you know, you can just very quickly fall in love with a person and then fall out of it very quickly again, you know. You can always kind of control it, even though people think that's not true, but it is, you know. You can hold it back in yourself, or you can just allow it to go, to grow and to get bigger. But I have a lot of female friends and I love them, and there's not anything that's going to happen romantically, you know. Because I value female friends so much more, or so much because the perspective, the feminine perspective, is so important, you know, for me. I grew so much, especially thanks to my female friends, because I understood so much more about women. I understood so much more about my emotions. Made me much, much wiser having female friends. And if a man cannot have female friends, I think that's not a very good sign. And vice versa, if a woman cannot have man friends. But for women, it's much easier to have man friends. I think for women, I think it's more difficult to be friends amongst other women because every woman is a potential threat, you know.
Why do you think so? Threat for what?
Threat for taking away their resources, you know. There just has to come in one guy both of them like, and all of a sudden there is like huge drama. You know, it's I think more difficult for women to be friends with other women. It's more, just my opinion. Just I think for women it's easier to be friends with men. But it depends always, of course. Don't quote me on that because it obviously depends on each individual relationship. But what I said about that women friendships are, I think, more difficult to maintain. It's how it seems to me.